Hi, I'm Cindy Cullen, the lazy programmer, and you are?
Hi, I'm Elizabeth, the
Okay.
trusty sidekick.
Okay, so now I want to show you how to build a website. You've just gotten hosting from me, okay?
I'm so glad to be hosted by you.
So you just got your hosting account, and I've created your account, and the name of your account is, what is the name of your website?
Prosperity in PJs.
So if you type that in, I'm going to let you type that one in.
.com.
I'm going to do the Creatively Yours. This is the wrong company.
It is, isn't it? Sorry. I have to come up with a new one.
Okay, I'm going to do Creatively Yours while you do Prosperity in PJs. I'm going to show you how to do this. Okay.
Prosperity in
PJs.com. Now I'm creating a test site for Creatively Yours, so I've named it cy.cullenws.com.
Yes.
Okay, so that's the name of the website I've just created for me, one of my clients. And you should have a new website.
I do.
So
look how blank, a blank slate.
When you buy plain old hosting, you'll get something like this. Now it may have a coming soon page or.
Now how much is plain old hosting?
Plain old hosting is $8.95 a month at the time of this recording.
Okay.
For one website.
Yes.
And that gets you all the emails you can use.
And a blank
within
page.
The space. You get 1 gig of space to use. And a blank page. So if you buy just hosting and you're going to do your own website.
Yes.
Then that's what you get.
Okay.
Now, you somehow, if that's all you buy.
Yes.
Then somehow you have to create the code that makes the page. Whether you create it from scratch or get a web tool like Dreamweaver or something to build the website.
Right.
Okay. So the best way I know to build a website is with WordPress because it's very powerful.
I would agree.
Now. Yeah, it's very powerful now, and it's easy to use even for people who don't really understand how to create websites.
Mm-hmm.
So the bottom line is every website. I'm just going to go to Amazon for a minute. Every website, I don't care how you build it, whether it's WordPress or whatever, it has to convert it all to HTML code.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, no matter what you're building in or with, it has to convert it to HTML code. So just to show you, even Google here converts down to HTML code. So I don't know how they built their site. My guess is they have all kinds of different languages and all kinds of different programmers building this. But eventually it has to get to HTML and CSS. This here is CSS code. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
So any website we build, regardless of whether we use WordPress or whatever, it has to convert back down to HTML. So you can build it from scratch with HTML, which is what a lot of templates that you buy will just be HTML templates. And you go in and fill in the blanks for what you want your page to say and stuff. So it has to get to HTML somehow. Okay, but we're going to use WordPress. So I'm going to show you how to install WordPress.
Okay. So
when you first get your site, you are going to want to go to your control panel. So if you put in the name of your site, the domain name /cpanel, and then we're going to put in the passwords here. Okay, so now we're in there, and me either, I think I've done this before. So this is what comes with your control panel. It's a lot of stuff, a lot of it you'll never use, but just to give you a brief overview, there's some video tutorials up there which will help you with most everything on here. And then there's the part about your email, so you can set up new email accounts, or you can go to your webmail and so on. There's all kinds of things to do with email. Here's some things to do with backup. Just be careful with backups because they take a lot of room. And your site, if you're hosting it with me, is probably already being backed up depending on the hosting package you have.
Right.
So just be careful because it'll run your disk space out quickly. Then we have the logs, which is our statistics, and my favorite one is AWS Stats. Google Analytics is one that you usually add to your website, but that's for a different video. And then security, unless you're going to have some password protected directories, you probably won't use that one. You can have some subdomains, and here's some places for other domain type things, which you probably won't use. Databases, unless you're really a hardcore web builder or whatever, you're probably not going to be dealing with those very much. And then here's some other software services, and these are the ones that we're going to talk about today. And then there's some advanced things, and you probably won't use any of those. So we're going to use Fantastico. So if you click on that, then you see a bunch of different third-party open source software scripts listed here. And you could use something like Drupal or Joomla. You may have heard of those before. They're content management systems too. But my favorite by far is WordPress. So that's the one we're going to install today. So you click on WordPress, and it comes up and tells you a little bit about what it's going to do. And it tells you how much room it's going to take and that kind of thing. And you want to click on New Installation. And we want to tell it where we want to install it. We're going to install it on the domain we're in, which is, for me, it's cy.colinws.com. For you, it should be Prosperity and PJs. And we're going to install it in which directory. Now, when I'm installing WordPress just for a blog, I may put it in a directory or folder named blog. But since it's going to be our entire site, I'm going to leave it blank because I want it to put it in the root folder or in the public HTML folder, which is where the web files go. I'm sorry, I'm boring you. And then you want to give it a username and password, and this is the one that you will type in to get into your website, to add stuff in what I call the back end. It's the admin section. So, and then you want to create a password, and I have this handy dandy password generator.
I have it on Chrome, so you'll need to create me one too.
Okay. Well, just make one up for now. You could just make one up. That's easy to remember. But I do want to give you a word of caution here. While you may make one up now, I'd suggest you change it later. Because it's a lot of people break into WordPress because it's a very common software. And then you can put in your nickname, what you want to be called on your blog or on your page. So anytime it puts in your nickname on a post or something, you want your name to be there. So whatever you want to be called. And if you're just building a static website or a website that doesn't have a blog, this doesn't make that much difference. You want to put in your email address so that you get notifications from the website here. What are you doing? Writing down your password?
Yes, I am, because it's always smart to write down your password.
Yes. Okay. And then your site name will go next. And then you can put a tagline or a description. I'm just going to leave that blank. We can always fill that in our admin section later. You got to quit yawning if you're on camera.
Sorry. I can't help it.
Okay, and then I'm going to hit the install WordPress. Okay, so then we hit finish the installation, and it's going to go to work and do magic. I'm waiting for the magic to happen. Don't look at me like that. Okay.
We're all waiting for magic.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you can email the username and password to yourself if you want. I've already copied it down, so I'm not going to do that. But it says that it is installed. And now I can go to the admin section to log in. And it gave me a link to that. So now we're on the admin section where it's going to take my login. But if I go look at the website now,
that's what I want to do. I want to see what it looks like now.
There it is. So it gives me a default theme, a default installation, and it looks like a boring blog.
But it's not a blank page anymore.
But it's not a blank page anymore, and you could use it just like it is. If you go back to your login page, or if you're here.
We didn't install Genesis.
No, not yet. We'll do that later.
Okay.
For yours. Some people may not have Genesis. And if they have the $8.95 hosting package, then they may not want to pay for Genesis.
Right.
So I'm not going to show that one on this video. We'll show Genesis on another video later. How's that? Okay, so if you want to log in and see your back end, you put in the username and password that we used before. I think I had a cap there. Then we come to the back end, or to the admin section, whichever you prefer to call it. It gives me some little tips and notes of things that may have changed since I was here last. And after I've read this, it tells me that it has a new feature toolbar, and if I get rid of that thing, then I can see that featured toolbar across the top. And since I've read that, I'm going to dismiss it. It tells me that I have update available. You see
I have 4 updates.
I do too, and those are probably plugins and theme updates that are available. So I can update now. I'm going to do please update now. And I suggest you do this. You want to keep your updates up to date.
You're having to update WordPress too.
Yes. So the first thing I want to do is update WordPress where it says update now. I want to click on that. I want to keep it up to date because they may have security patches, so that keeps people from hacking it. So
your internet's running slow too.
I know. So once they put security patches in, you want to make sure you get those because people find out about those quickly and they'll hack into it. So you want to make sure you keep the latest update. Now, I suggest you have a backup once you get your site up and going. You want to make sure you backed it up before you do this because it could potentially, I've never seen it happen, but it could potentially not work after you update. So you want to make sure you got good backups. Of course, if you're hosting with me, you'll have good backups.
Of course.
Assuming you've paid for those in the package that you get.
Oh, look, there we are.
Okay.
Now still got 3 more to go.
Right. Once this is updated and I can see that everything's working well, I may want to go over to my website page and just refresh to make sure that it still looks okay and hasn't broken anything. And it does. It looks fine, which is what I expect. Like I said, I've never seen WordPress update screw anything up. Now, with that said, plugins and other updates with WordPress sometimes, a lot of times, break because anybody can write a plugin.
Right.
And so sometimes you have plugins on your system which are not well written.
Right.
And so they may have an update and it may really screw you up.
So
definitely have a backup if you have plugins written by other people. Now, in our case here, we're not going to worry about the backup because, number one, we've just installed and we could reinstall again. Number two, we don't have any plugins except for one which came with it. That was written by the WordPress team.
Now, if I'm not using these themes that are down here, would you update them?
No. Actually, what I would do is delete them.
And why would you delete them?
Because people that hack in will often hack in through those themes because they come standard on WordPress. 99% of the time they're still there.
Right.
And that's an easy place for them to break in. So since I don't use these, I usually delete them. You don't have to. If you're going to leave them in there, update them. If you're going to delete them, then just delete them and don't worry about the updates. I would update that plugin because I use that plugin a lot on every website I build.
Yes.
I use it. So I'm going to update that one. The plugin is free, but to activate it or to use it properly, I think you have to pay now. So.
Oh, look, my pretty little website. And there it is.
It worked, huh?
It does work, and everything has been updated now.
Yeah. So here's mine, and if I refresh, then this update button should just show the 2 for the themes. So let me just go in and show you how to delete those themes if you're not going to use it. But first, before you delete it, you've got to have another one. So for this video, I want to show them how to install one of the free themes that you can get. But after saying that, I also want to warn them that free is free, and you get what you pay for. And just because it's a free theme doesn't mean it's a great theme.
Right.
And it doesn't mean that it's well written. And so it could have bugs in it, it could have viruses in it, it could have anything in it. Probably not a virus, but it could have things where people can hack in easier. So you have to be careful. Usually, though, if you find them through this tab, where you search the WordPress site, they're usually checked out by WordPress, and so they're usually okay.
So they're safer.
They're safer than
Right.
if you just get it somewhere off the internet.
Right.
Personally, I would never just go get one off the internet unless it was a blog I didn't care about. Because if you just go get it off the internet, there's nothing that guarantees that it's not one that somebody could easily hack into.
Mm-hmm.
But if you get it through WordPress, then it's usually pretty trustworthy.
Right.
So if I were going to get a free one, I would make sure that I get it through here. And if you can see where they have different colors you can search for, so you can do a lot of different searching. You can look for 3-column themes or fixed width, which means that it always stays the same width. The page does, the blog does.
Mm-hmm.
And flexible width means that if you resize the window, the theme itself will resize. So it's flexible. You can also look for some other features and for subjects. So for this instance, I'm just going to look for a blue one. And then I'm going to click on Find Themes. It's going to come up with a bunch of them probably. So here it shows me what they look like. And some of them are fancier than others. And do you see one you like? Here's one with water. Let's try that one. So I look at it and I can tell a little more about it. And once I say, okay, that's the one I want, then I can click on Install. Then I can see a live preview of it. That shows me what it's going to look like. But you'll notice, since I haven't activated it yet, if I go back to my website, it still looks the same. This has a header that changes, but other than that, it still looks the same. So now if I save and activate, it does let me change a few things. It shows me the description there. It lets me change the title and the tagline, and I can make it a static front page to where it's not my blog on the front page.
Mm-hmm.
But once I have that set like I want, I can just save and activate. And once I've activated, then I should be able to go over here, and my whole theme has changed. Now the content will stay the same. This part won't change. The hello world, the text itself won't change. It'll still be there, but it'll be in a different format.
But there's your brand new website.
Now, there's my brand new website with the theme I want, the look I want.
Just waiting for you to add content.
Right. Now all I'd have to do is go in and add content, which we'll show in a later. If I go to my Themes tab over here, I can see, once I delete those, this shows me the active one at the top, and this shows me the others that I have installed. And there's 3 themes that are installed that I don't need anymore, so I'm going to delete those because I will never use those. Now, if you ever think you might use them, you may want to leave them.
Right.
But I will not use them. So I am going to delete them. Okay, so now I only have the one theme there. So that makes it a little better security-wise. And hopefully my website's still working correctly.
Oh my goodness, it's slow today.
Yes, so my
Very
website
slow,
still
isn't
works. Everything's here. And notice my updates now has gone away.
Yes.
Because I don't have those themes that need updating anymore. So I have the one theme. The others are gone. We have a new website. It's that easy. I can create new posts and they will show up here. It's all done.
Congratulations on your brand new website.